Good morning, Lucifer.
Are we doing this in character?
Bom dia.
So, third season.
Yeah.
How much fun are you having?
I'm not going to lie, a lot, actually. It's really not. I mean, I've never gotten this far in the process in the States in terms of multiple seasons. And so it's really nice because you always get to a point where, you know, if something's been cancelled or if you've only just done a pilot or something, there's a hunger to sort of tell more of the story. And now it feels like, I wouldn't say we're in a comfort zone, but it just feels like we're able to tell our story and keep doing that. And the more characters that we've introduced, the more fun we can have because we can start cross-pollinating these characters and doing more with them. And the fact that our audience have really sort of run with it and embraced the show the way they have has been rather wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As the go ahead.
Well, Dee had mentioned that because I brought up the irony of Lucifer and Amenadiel, and Amenadiel often gets mad at Lucifer for things that he also does. But he said that the difference is that Amenadiel learns from his mistakes. Is that a thing that you would agree with? And
oh, absolutely. I mean, Lucifer seems to have moments that really land on him where he feels like he might have learned something. But, you know, that's always sort of fighting with his instincts. And so to unlearn something isn't as simple as just like it happening once to him. It's a slow process of integration into humanity, I would say. And, you know, he's not really understood the concept of emotion yet, and how that can take you and how that can control you. And you know, we always thought of Lucifer as a bit of a teenager, and he has that kind of like, you know, that kind of F you to the world when things aren't going in his way, and that's sort of like that's basically where I sort of place his wisdom level when it comes to humanity. Obviously, he knows a lot about a lot of other things, but humans, he's still got a lot to learn.
So Lucifer's an extremely complex character. There's so many facets to him. What's been your most, I guess, memorable moment of playing Lucifer?
Gosh, I mean, there's been. I mean, you're right. I mean, I feel very lucky as an actor as well to kind of have so many opportunities to do different things in one show. I think, you know, one of my standout moments, and I will always remember it as a standout moment on any job I've ever done, was the piano duel that I did with Father Frank in The Priest Walks Into a Bar. And I can't tell you why specifically, but it was partly to do with Coleman Domingo. We just became really good friends doing that episode, and we both have a love of music, and music is a kind of universal language. And the fact that we were able to, in a show like this, have a scene with not really much talking in it, and you were able to bond over something like that, and that was something that we, as actors, we were able to do, and as the characters, it was just a really kind of, I smiled for a long time after that scene.
What are you looking forward to people seeing from season 3?
I think we're having a lot of fun this year with mixing our characters up and our character dynamics and introducing people to different people. You know, I'm really excited about what we're doing with Trisha this year. You know, and it's been a real challenge for her as an actress to kind of to play someone else, but not play someone else. So just the overall, you know, the overall feeling of we're onto something here as a show, and we feel confident about where we're at, and being able to just play with that and feel confident that people will respond to it.
Thank you.
What's most exciting about working on this season for you?
Well, you know, moving the show back to LA was a big deal. It was, you know, we started the process here. We did the pilot here, and LA was this wonderful backdrop for this show, and it spoke volumes about the show. It was a character in the show, and then, you know, we weren't able to embrace that so much while we weren't shooting there. But now we're back here. We're really able to kind of, you know, open the show up to that again. And that's been great, because you know, some scenes that we would have shot elsewhere previously, we're now able to go, why don't we put it here? That'll look great. And you know, you forget when you live in LA for a while that people, not a lot of people haven't been here, and so they have an imagination of what it is, and to be able to sort of fulfill that imagination is quite satisfying.
Can you talk about the logistics of filming in Los Angeles? Has it been difficult at times? It is a busy city. It's an expensive city to shoot in.
Well, economically, I can't answer that question.
Right.
I would imagine so. Although the California tax credit thing that's happening, and they're getting better and better at bringing, helping bring shows back, which is great for California and great for Los Angeles because you feel like stuff should be made here. Yeah. But logistically, it hasn't. From our side of things, it hasn't made a difference.
Longer days.
Well, I mean, what it has changed is like coming to the studios is quite a magical thing. I still get a little buzz coming in every day. You're at Warner Brothers Studios, and there's all this history and stuff being made here, and we're having fun. We're having fun. We're really embracing being back here. So yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
If you could work with any actor this season, who would it be?
Any actor on the show, or any actor?
No, any actor.
Oh my goodness me, that's a good question. I mean, I'm a big fan. I've got like 3 actors that I absolutely adore. Ken Branagh, he'd be great. He could be Dad, the real Dad. And then an actor called Mark Rylance, who not a lot of people know over this side of the shores, but they're getting to know him now. He's just the most amazing actor I've ever seen on stage ever. And then Robert Downey Jr. is a big kind of like influence on me growing up, and watching him perform in movies. It really kind of like inspired me. So those 3, and Meryl Streep.
Tom Welling's coming in his character is a potential thorn in various ways. Can you talk about sort of acting against him, and if any of that on-screen rivalry is fueled by the fact that he came in with your first name?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, hate him. I hate his parents more actually for calling him Tom. Tom's brought a whole new energy into it this year, which is sort of this new dynamic in the police station. We now have this kind of like stoic lieutenant. Of course, Lucifer doesn't really care about him being a lieutenant or anything like that. But they do literally stand toe to toe because we're like both 6'3", and what the main thing about Tom's character is that he takes the eye of a certain Detective Decker, and the way that falls on Lucifer is quite confusing for him because he's made a decision that he and the detective are simply that. They have a great partnership at work, but it could be no more than that because of everything he's found out. And of course, like most things for Lucifer, he realises it's not that simple, and things make him feel stuff. Cool.
How fun is it to play that emotional side and the conflict side to the Lucifer character?
It is fun. I find it quite, it's an opportunity to really ground the character as well. Because on the surface, Lucifer is this sort of flamboyant soul who just doesn't care about anything. And that's great, and that's great fun to play, but, to be able to sort of ground it in a sort of emotional reality is satisfying from an acting point of view as well. And I think, it's good for our audience because they can get taken along by this sort of whimsical character, and then all of a sudden something happens to them and they really care about him. And they haven't realised quite how much they care because they were too busy just like either rolling their eyes or laughing at him. And it is very satisfying to do those moments. Anyone else?
What do you do when you have some downtime on set, which I'm sure is not that much?
Sleep? No, I don't have an awful lot of downtime, truth be told. I hang out with my missus. And then see friends and family and do that, but I don't play as much golf as I'd like to, and that's mine and on mine and T-Dub's to-do list because he's a big golfer. So yeah, if they could give us a few scenes off, that'd be quite nice because my handicap is suffering.
Who do you?
I'm so sorry to pull, but Tom needs to go back
Okay.
to film.
Got to go and intimidate someone. Right. Okay. Nice to see you.